Thank you for joining us on the Trend Talk. Today we get to speak to actor Nicholas Gonzalez. I know you remember him as Alex Santiago in Resurrection Boulevard on Showtime. But since then, he's done countless of films and TV shows. We all remember his stand-up performance on ABC's The Good Doctor. And he is here to talk about his new film. It's called Borrego, and he's going to tell us all about it. So welcome, Nicholas Gonzalez.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
You're a pretty busy guy. Not only are you have a film coming out that's called Borrego, which is what we're going to talk about, but you're also on the NBC drama Brea, which just got picked up for a second season. But you also have a baby, Leo. And how old is he?
Leo is at this moment, I think, 20 days old right now.
Oh my God.
The 21st. He was 12, 21, 21. Leo Camino Gonzalez.
Oh my God. But this is your second time around at this rodeo because you have your first child, which is your little girl. So how is it different from the first time? Is it?
It's like they say, the boys are definitely hungrier. He is
Oh,
nonstop hungry, insatiable, I hear, or other women have stepped up to Kelsey and go, he'll suck the life out of you. So I don't know. And that's the one thing I'm noticing is he's constantly eating.
that's funny. Okay, so let's talk about the film.
Deputy Sheriff in need of immediate assistance. Does anybody read me? I have an emergency. I got a homicide scene with 2 bodies and a 3rd missing person.
You play a sheriff. You're a good guy in this one, and you're basically coming to the rescue of a botanist that is working and runs into some trouble. So tell me, what drew you to this character and to the theme of the film?
Well, the project was brought to my attention by the producers who were friends of mine, and we had worked together before, and they had offered me the role of Deputy Sheriff Jose Gomez, who is, he's overburdened and understaffed, although, the kind of action that goes on out there isn't really action. So I think he's been a person who's been able to kind of hide himself from maybe the dangers of the world, and more importantly, hide his, daughter. And I'm not sure what he's faced before this, that's not in the script, but, his wife is no longer around. And, he seems to be someone who kind of shirks off duty until this time around. He can't help but take responsibility and fight for his daughter.
You didn't shoot all the movie here. It was you shot some parts of it, right?
We shot some of it here when we came back reshoots, but the majority of the film was shot in Almeria, Spain.
Wow. What was the thinking there?
Well, because of the pandemic, we ended up having to shoot in Spain, and we couldn't shoot in the Borrego desert.
I mean, you shot in a lot of different countries, but had you ever shot in Spain?
I've been fortunate to shoot in a lot of countries, but Spain never. Still want to do Italy, still want to shoot in Greece. Right, I could go to France again, but that was amazing. That was kind of like, oh, I have to go to Spain instead. Darn. The difficulty was the timing. I mean, we're still talking. It was during pandemic, and Spain went through a lockdown while we were there.
I know, because they were one of the countries that was there, hitting it very hard. We would see that on TV.
Right, but then this was later in the second wave that hit them again when we were over there, when they'd cleared up and everything had passed on to us. So I was still leaving during a kind of a trying time to leave family behind to do this. So that's kind of figured into everything. I mean, I think there's been the zeal that we all want to continue working, and especially because we don't know what's going to happen next, with everything, and you just kind of want to get it in when you can. But it's really tough when that means leaving family behind for a long time.
Tell us about working with Lucy Hale and all of the rest of the cast that you probably didn't know and met there on this shoot.
Yeah, it was the first time working with everybody except Lucy. I think I had interrogated her a few times on Pretty Little Liars when I was protecting Fury. But she's a delight, and she completely boss woman on the set and off, but leading with love, like just a sweetheart, but very smart actress. and was very committed. This from the beginning. It was really a pleasure working with her, but getting to know Leonard Gomez, who I had already been a fan of his work as Limon from Narcos. I was just really excited that he was a part of this, and he is a total nut. If you ever get to meet him, he's an absolute delight. If you ever want to interview him, Bill, I'd love to set that up because he is a
Oh
sweetheart.
yeah, for
Um,
sure.
but Jorge also is another. He was an amazing. He was one of the kind of sicarios on Narcos as well. But to know these men that a lot of times play some of these roles that aren't fully fleshed out, three-dimensional, and here they were getting that opportunity where these characters we're seeing behind the the bravado. We're seeing, underneath the choices that are made, the fear, the families that are being held hostage so that things are done. Like we're seeing the stories behind, and it was really awesome knowing that it was in their hands because I was a fan. So I just wanted to see what they were going to do with it because I liked the source material, I liked the movie, I liked the the script. What are they going to do with it? So each day it was really exciting talking with the producer of like, hey, what'd you guys get? What did Jorge do?
Borrego. It sounds like, well, because in Spanish it means
Sheep.
lamb or sheep.
Hmm.
So
And
tell
that
us about the name and where it comes from.
well, that trope comes through. You'll hear there's actually a good speech that's in there about it. But something to the gist of that there's sheep and sheepdogs in the world, and there are people that prey on people in the sheep, and
Oh,
so Borrego comes through in a few different ways in the film.
oh, I see. Okay. Let's find out what's happening in season 2 of La Brea.
Yeah, I don't know anything about what's happening. How would I know?
You don't know?
There was rumor. They said, oh, could be, March, beginning of April. But now, like, you got Omicron going through, and we would have to go back to Australia, like,
So meanwhile, you're busy
raising
and
later.
enjoying your baby, your new baby. Ever your daughter, but your new baby, Leo, as well. A family of 4. That's amazing. Is there going to be more?
We're not having them. I don't. I don't know. I mean, we've always talked about that if we're in the position, maybe we'd adopt. But
Thank you so much for taking time. I know it's hectic, especially with no sleep,
love you,
but I
Mama.
appreciate
I
it.
appreciate it. That you're, still so supportive and interested. Thank you so much.
Okay, say hi to Kelsey for me. Everyone, please go see the film.